everyone. Been a little bit, but wanted to go ahead and start filming again for 2021. So obviously there's been a lot that's happened around the world. There's been a lot that's happened with me too. But luckily things have gotten better. I just recently, my family, we bought a new home. So we moved in a couple months ago, and so that's been great. Pretty much bought my dream home. So here's a couple clips of my house. And yes, so that was my home. So really excited. And one of the reasons why I was able to get into the home of my dreams was because of eBay. I started selling on eBay now. I think it's been like 4 years, maybe longer, but it's been such a blessing. You know, I've been able to make so much extra cash. You know, obviously I still work full time in my job, which I make a decent amount of money for that. And I also have really good benefits and things like that. But eBay has been awesome. I've really been able to save up a lot of money, and I was able to, part of the down payment for our home was part of the money from eBay. And then we were able to sell our house and made a pretty good profit. I live in Austin, Texas, and Austin has been booming. But just wanted to get a little bit into my 2021 goals. I have been really concentrating on that, really working on what my goals are, what I want to accomplish in 2021. I turned 40 in August, and I guess that's kind of maybe a turning point for people in general. You know, you go through your life, you're not thinking too much about all those things, and then you become, you know, middle-aged, and you start thinking, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? How can I really maximize the rest of my life and, you know, live a happy life and have the things that I want, you know, at least the things that I need, and just bigger accomplishments, you know, just really kind of setting really higher expectations for yourself. Like, now you're established, let's see what you can do. Let's really see how high you can go and how, you know, hard you can push yourself, and see if you can make those things come true. So obviously I'm so thankful. All my family, they've all stayed healthy. We haven't had any issues with that. You know, I have a wonderful family and children and husband, and so happy with all of that. But for 2021, one of my main focuses is my finance, my investments, and where I'm going. I've made a goal that by 2022, I would like to quit my job, or at least put it on pause. I want to at least take 1 year off of my job. But I just, you know, have done some, you know, reflecting, and I that's what I would like to do. I want to take off a year from work, from traditional work, and concentrate on some of my own investments and projects and things I want to focus on. So what I have in mind for 2021 is really start focusing on my eBay store. Currently right now, I'm a very small store. I only have like 250 items, but I sell a lot of electronics, vintage electronics, and even if you go in my store right now, there's not necessarily that many electronics, but what happens is a lot of stuff, my electronics sell very quickly. So I'll have stuff and I'll be able to flip it very quickly. You know, I'm always on let go, offer up. I'm going to estate sales constantly. to find these vintage electronics, but there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, you know, you can't find anywhere else. Like, you can't just go to, you know, the store or Amazon or other websites to find these things. Like, you can only find the stuff on eBay. So I'm pretty much like people's personal vintage electronics shopper, and I go out and I find it, and you get to sit on, you know, your sofa and click one little button, and then you get that item. So, you know, a lot of those things that I'm flipping, I mean, I'm buying stuff for like, you know, I started paying a little bit more up, like, so $50, $70, but then, you know, you're flipping it for like $300, $400. You know, buying it for $10 and you're flipping it for, you know, $60. I've been a little bit, as far as eBay, or as far as Goodwill, they really raised their prices, so I haven't been going there often. Pretty much have been sticking to estate sales, let go, offer up, and things like that, and also kind of networking more to meet people who might be selling things. I do like knickknacks. That's another thing. I do like vintage electronics and knickknacks. So that's going to be one of my main focuses for 2021. Like I said, right now I have about 250 items in my store. You know, I would obviously like to increase that, but like, the goal is, for me, I know some people really emphasize on this quantity. Your store you have to have thousands of items, and that's the way you're gonna, you know, make lots of money. If you don't have lots of items, then you can't do it. I don't believe that's true. And again, I only am working part-time on eBay, so, you know, obviously, you know, I've got to scale, but my focus is going to be quality and versus quantity. I really want to specialize in finding those unique items and selling them at a premium price. They're unique, you can't find them anywhere else, and so that's kind of my focus. Is I'm fine with, you know, spending $40, $50 on an item that I can flip for $200, $300, and it's not sitting there. Like, a lot of my electronics will be gone within, you know, a week or two. I mean, sometimes they sit for like you know, maybe a month, but in most cases, they flip pretty quickly. And I mean, I sell a lot of broken stuff. Like, the broken electronics, yeah, those can sit for a while. And that's not to say, I mean, I hold on to my things. Like, I do believe at some point everything sells on eBay. So I really do sometimes hold on to items, and, you know, and then they sell. So that's great. So I'm not one to like just turn over my things and be like, oh, this hasn't sold for 4 months, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Like, I don't do that. And so I'm very excited. I just got a shed that's going to be delivered on Friday. So I'm probably going to shoot a video of showing my garage and getting everything out of my garage and organizing it in my shed, and just really starting to keep track of all my items, have an inventory list, have everything, the prices and all of that stuff, and a lot of things that I haven't gotten in order, again, since I'm working part-time, but I really want to make that a goal. And to just start networking more and figuring out where I can find more electronics and knickknacks, collectibles. Bought a lot of airplanes from like the 1960s that this older guy, he was building them, and I bought like 150 small, medium, large airplanes. And here is a video. Here are all my planes and tanks, and also submarines that I purchased, and all along got some also back there. So yeah, so it's about 150. Those are the airplanes that I bought. That's one of the big purchases that I did this year. So I paid $350 for those. Again, that's a lot of money. But I do think that I will be able to make a really good profit on them. They're very unique. A lot of them, you know, you can't find them. And so I'll give you an update on how that goes. Okay, so that is my first goal for 2021. My second goal are investments. During COVID, obviously, you know, people just, we're at home, we're sitting around, there's not a lot to do. You know, I'm working from home, but you know, I can't get out of the house. There's a lot of things that, you know, I'm just hanging out with the kids. So I would say about a couple, maybe like a year and a half ago, my brother had approached me about an investment opportunity with silver, and so a silver investment, and it did not go well. So I did not make any money on that investment, but it really opened my eyes to what I can do with my money and how I can have control over my money. A lot of times people, you know, you make a paycheck and you put it in your account and you have your retirement money, and you kind of don't really realize like what your money is doing and what you can do with your money, and having like real control over it. And I think people, a lot of times, you know, even myself, like you just don't think about it. You don't think about the things that you can accomplish with even a small amount of money. And that's just like eBay. You know, you can buy something for $1 and flip it for $30. And I tell people this all the time, but apparently either nobody believes me or they just don't have, you know, they don't have the strength and, or, you know, discipline to do these things. So I really applaud all you eBay sellers out there, because you are doing things that regular people could do, but they don't do it. Like they don't take the initiative. They don't have that extra step that they want to go and do that, because it's not rocket science. Like you buy an item for cheap and you sell it for $30. But yes, there's a lot of stuff in the process. Again, you've got to hunt for the items. You've got to have a good eye for the items. You've got to ship it off. You have to deal with customer service. But is it rocket science? No, it's pretty straightforward. But there's a lot of people out there who won't even go there. So anyways, the point is that you have control over your money, whether you're working a job, whether you're, you know, your parents are giving you money. There's, you know, if you're a kid and your parents are giving you money, there's ways that you can make that money, make more money, and have control over it, right? Because that's freedom. That's freedom to have control over your finances and have control over what's the, you know, how you provide for yourself and things like that. And my son, so I had an E-Trade account already set up, and my son actually was looking at stocks, and he was like, hey mom, like I remember you know, you had invested in that silver, like maybe we should like look at some stocks, like you have that, you know, E-Trade account. And I was like, oh yeah. And you know, that's when the stock market had completely crashed, right? And you know, there was panic. Nobody was looking at the stock market. Nobody was really buying stocks, and you know, it was just a whole reactionary moment in time where, you know, everybody was reacting to everything that was going on and just panicking, and just a shutdown, almost like a physical. Everybody was just physically shutting down. And what do we do? What's going on? Stay-at-home order, all those things. So, anyways, in the midst of that, me and my son started researching stocks, right? And, you know, we could see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're like, you know what? These stocks are crashing, but they're going to come back. Like, you know, the United States is resilient. We're going to come back. So what did we do? We started, and my son, he used to shoot videos with me. He doesn't anymore, but his name is Zeke. And if you go back in time, you can see videos of him. So what we did was we started researching different stocks, and we just kind of like let our minds kind of what stocks do we think we should invest in. And he's 14, he was 13 at the time. And we're like, okay, what if we invest in restaurants, right? Like IHOP and Chili's and Crackle Barrel and some of these restaurants that, you know, their stock has just like plummeted. And, you know, but again, we're like, we have faith, like things are going to come back. It's going to work out. So that's what we started doing. So we started investing the stocks. They were so dirt cheap. it was crazy how much they had gone down. So we started investing in Crackle Barrel. Like I said, IHOP, some of those restaurants are owned by other, conglomerates. And so we would invest in those stocks. What else? We've invested in Six Flags and things like that, and just little things here and there. I mean, eventually started amounting. And again, I had some extra money from my eBay. So that was always nice. Like I had my 9 to 5 job, 8 to 5 job, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. job. And then I have my money from eBay that I can use for investing. Worst case scenario, if I lose all my money from eBay, I've got my job, right? Now, obviously the dream is not to have the 8 to 5 job, although, I really like my job. I work in public safety, and I support, people who are in public safety, and I'm an administrative supervisor, but I work behind a computer, so I'm behind a computer a lot, on the phone, working with emails, returning emails, a lot of customer service. So although what I do is very important to the community, I feel like, a lot of times it can drag me down. And, if I had more control over, my work and things like that, I could still, be a benefit to the community, but in a different way, right? So we started investing in those stocks. Stocks started going up. We started making money. And I opened an account for my son as well. So I had an account, and then there's a custodial account you can get with E-Trade, which was great. So, I was like, okay, I'll give you money, because I don't give my children allowance. But I told him, hey, as long as you're researching all of this stuff, then I'll go ahead and give you the money and you can invest it. So I started giving him some money. He started buying his own stocks and investing, researching. He invested in he invested in some oil companies that didn't do so well. But I mean, he was able to sell them. And so, yeah, so that's what we've been doing. Once I sold my house, I made a pretty good profit on that. And I did put to me, it's a significant amount of money in the stock market. And again, I guess what I want to kind of put out there is, I'm a total beginner with all of this, but I read and I go online and I watch YouTube. And so I absorb the knowledge, and once it gets down to it, it's not, just don't overcomplicate it. You need to research the company. I'll look at statistical data for those five years, which you can get on Google. I'll see how their stocks have gone up, gone down, if they have any new products or new technology that they're going to be using for that company. So definitely, I'll probably make some more videos as far as how to buy stocks and things like that. But this is all stuff that I'm doing because of eBay. It has afforded me to have this, extra income that I can use. And the third investment that I have started is cryptocurrency. Now, again, I am a beginner, and there is a lot of research. That's one thing. Again, not a financial advisor. Definitely beginner. But again, there is so much information out there. Again, YouTube, articles. I mean, it's like no other, this day and age, it's crazy how much knowledge and education and research material is out there, and it's all at your fingertips and in your phone. And that's just amazing to imagine, when I was younger growing up, we went to the library and we had to check out books, and we had to find people who knew about this stuff. And, we would watch news stories about it, but there was nothing where you can just at your fingertips, just, all of a sudden have all this information, I mean, all of this started, in the 90s and things like that. But, when I was in elementary school, no, like we were just going to the library and like, okay, you have to do a book report. Like book report, you have to go and check out books, and again, you know, maybe ask your teacher, stay late, see what they know, and things like that. But so it's all at your fingertips. So it's there, and the information is there. Now I will say that cryptocurrency is very volatile. It's a very volatile environment. And it fluctuates constantly. Like I said, I mean, there's ups, there's downs. Right now, Bitcoin is down. It's hit about $30,000 a coin, and so yeah, again, and maybe you don't know anything about cryptocurrency or have even heard that. I mean, I'm sure everybody has heard that. But I can do another video a little bit more about it and how you can start off as a beginner. And again, I mean, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy parts of a Bitcoin. And there's other currencies as well that are really, you know, doing some crazy things with technology. I mean, it's so innovative, and it really inspires me to want to learn and want to, you know, understand more and get deeper into this, you know, just this influx of information and everything. So I read a lot of it, and so I am invested in Bitcoin. There's another currency, Ethereum, and also some smaller currencies that I can kind of show you my portfolio and kind of give you an idea about that. So those are my goals for 2021. eBay, stocks, cryptocurrency, and making enough money this year that I can at least take a year off. And again, when I take that year off, that's not necessarily like not working. I want to concentrate on those other things, and I also want to get into real estate. I really do like the idea of Airbnb, and mostly Airbnb. So I would like to buy a home. I'm looking at the San Antonio area because it's a lot cheaper there, and it hasn't quite hit, the market hasn't hit where it's, you know, crazy insane like here in Austin. Yeah, so that's the goal. And yeah, if you guys want to share what your goals are, again, I really commend everybody who sells on eBay and the eBay community, because it's really, it's a risk. You know, you're putting yourself out there, you're using your money to try to, profit and things like that. And so I think it's really courageous. And even if you do it part-time, full-time, I think most of people who sell on eBay really have that kind of pioneer mentality as far as smaller sellers, that, you know what, I'm going to, buy stuff and resell it, and, be able to make money and be able to have that extra influx of money, and I'm going to have my time to do what I want to do. And it's freedom, right? It's freedom. I mean, that's what my definition of, providing for myself and providing for my family. If I can do that in a way that I am not, at a job, and I'm not, having to do things that my time is not there. So where I'm having to spend so much time doing those things, like, it's freedom, right? So that's my definition of success, is having that freedom and being able to do what you want with your time in your life, and not be bound to a job and things like that. And again, I'm super thankful that I have my job. Will I be able to succeed in 2021 and quit my job? I will see. I'm going to try really hard, and I'm going to do what I can do. But again, if you, in the comment section, if you want to share your goals for 2021, I'm also going to include some information about some of the websites that I use for investing. You know, again, I invest on E-Trade, and then I have another savings account that's for cryptocurrency called BlockFi. So I'll share those referral links, and then obviously if you click on the referral links, I get something, you get something. And then I can do some other videos specifically a little bit more about cryptocurrency if you're interested in that, and a little bit more about stocks as well. So if you're not familiar with getting into that stuff, we can do it together and be beginners together, because yeah, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, but they're definitely at a way higher level than me as far as understanding the cryptocurrency environment and market, and you know, analyzing it. I mean, it's crazy the level that they're at, and understanding the technology and the concepts behind these coins and these initiatives. But anyways, I hope you all have a great 2021, and I will be back with more videos.